Let's cut to the chase, shall we? Claire Fox, Baroness of Buckley. Should transgender women be able to compete in female sports categories?
No.
Why not?
Because they aren't women. In the physical sense of all of the things that in sport should count, they have an inbuilt biological advantage, which is that they're a born man, and therefore they've gone through puberty. And the reason why we don't have mixed-sex sports in general is because it's an unequal competition.
But then why, Claire, do the sporting bodies, etc., have a collection of rules? Because I can only assume that they've done their basic biological homework and looked into the science and all this, because they have a guideline, for example, where trans women could compete. This is, of course, what we're referring to here. Trans women could compete after 1 year of having testosterone levels below 10 nanomoles? Is that how you say it? Per litre.
But it's not, I mean, first of all, they haven't, I mean, if they've spent a year doing their science and their biology and they haven't worked the biological difference between a man and a woman, we're in trouble, right? It's not just testosterone. It's not just to do with that. If you go through puberty, the way that your body develops, the strength that's built up and so on as a man. And in this particular controversy, I think the problem is that we get into a tangle over language. Now, you've just said, you know, Lia Thomas won, she won, you know, it's her, and so on and so forth. And then it looks like you're being unfair to a woman. And it's very difficult, but I have to just say this is a male-bodied competitor. Now, I don't want Lia Thomas not to be able to be involved in sport.
By the way, I wasn't using pronouns when I was talking about Lia. I was saying she in relation to Caitlyn Jenner.
Right, sorry. But I mean, all I'm saying is we do get in a muddle, though, because we don't know how to describe trans women or trans men or what have you in terms of this. But when you say why have the sporting bodies done it, I think it's political rather than biological or scientific. That's the first thing. They've basically adopted the position that to say that trans women are not women in the sense of competitive sport would mean that they were being transphobic. They've basically gone along with that position. We know the impact of that in relation to everything from women's-only wards in hospitals, women's-only prisons, all of these different things have now got into a complete jumble over this. But the one thing to say was that when Lia Thomas was a competitor in male sport, he was ranked 554th in college sports. I mean, what happened was not that his swimming increased. He went into a different category, i.e. into women's swimming, and now he's the champion.
Yeah, I mean,
She's the champion. Lia is the champion. What I'm saying is that that's not because of an increase in sporting prowess. That's because the competitor was entered into a women's category.
So are you saying that all trans women have a competitive advantage over biological women? Well, why didn't the weightlifter, Laurel Hubbard, why didn't she win then?
Well, they've got a competitive advantage. Doesn't mean they're any good. That's a completely different thing, right? I mean, you know, like, you could have... There's lots of males in the world, men in the world, who if you put them into the swimming pool with those swimmers would be hopeless.